Hey guys, today we're going to talk all about thermal energy. All right, let's get started. So, first, let's talk about what really is thermal energy. Well, thermal energy depends on tiny particles in matter. The faster the particles move, the warmer the substance gets, and the more thermal energy it has. To understand thermal energy, we have to talk about heat. So, heat is directly related to thermal energy. Heat is the movement of thermal energy from a warmer object all the way to a cooler object. So, basically, there's three different ways thermal energy can transfer between objects. Those ways are conduction, convection, and radiation. Let's learn more about those on the next slides. So, conduction is the first way that heat can transfer. Conduction is the transfer of thermal energy between two objects that are touching. So if we have a pot of boiling water on a stove, conduction happens when the pot is touching the fire itself on the stove. Those two things are touching and transferring heat. Convection is the next way. Convection is the transfer of thermal energy by flowing gases or liquids. This basically means in our example of the boiling pot, the water inside has convection. The heat rises to the top and sends all the cold water back down to the bottom, and the process continues to transfer heat. Our last method is radiation. Radiation is basically the transfer of energy through space. So this means on our boiling pot, that radiation is actually the fire itself. When we put our hand next to a fire, we can feel the heat, but we don't actually have to touch the fire to feel the heat. That's radiation. So let's talk about our pot of water again. Conduction happens when the pot touches the flames itself. Two things have to be touching to transfer heat. Convection happens inside of the pot with the warm air rising and the cold air sinking to the bottom to become warm. And radiation comes from the fire itself. We can feel it on our hands without actually touching the fire. Let's talk about a conductor. A conductor is any material that heat and electricity flow through really easily. A really great example is a metal pipe. Metal allows heat and electricity fly through really easily without stopping it very often. So a lot of heat and a lot of electricity can flow through really fast. Next, we have an insulator. An insulator is the exact opposite of a conductor. An insulator is a material that slows or stops the flow of energy. Some really good examples are plastic, glass, and wood. We use those things on the outside of pots and pans, so that way when we hold them, the heat doesn't transfer to our hands and keeps us safe. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by and watching. I really hope you learned something. So right now you should take some time to write down some of the definitions you heard in this video. Talk with some partners. What are some definitions they heard? Can you think of any great examples? All right, I'll catch you guys later.